And here we are at Montparnasse Tower, the perfect place to get a panoramic view of the city lit up at night. Is get a combination of getting the city lights and the ambient sky exposure absolutely perfect. If you leave it too late, then the city rooftops will be too dark, and if you do it too early, the city rooftops will be too bright. So you're trying to find the perfect balance between the exposure in the sky and city lights so that you get a really evenly matched shot. Now that normally happens at about 20 minutes to half an hour after sunset, depending on the conditions. And here I'm using a shutter speed of about 1/8 of a second so that I can capture the beam of light that's coming past on the top of the Eiffel Tower. In the past, I've done this shot with long shutter speeds of 30 seconds or more to capture the car trails going up the boulevard. But in this instance, 1/8 of a second's been achieved by boosting the ISO on the camera, allowing me to retain a relatively brief shutter speed. By boosting the ISO to higher speeds, I'm adjusting the camera's recording sensitivity, which allows it to capture more light more easily. But remember that using higher ISO settings can increase the graininess of your image. Trying to find the best light means that it's an early start out trying to capture shots of the city. And I have one location in mind that I've photographed before, but there are also a few other areas nearby that I've researched as having potential. Having got my shot, I want to move on before the sun is too high in the sky and the light becomes too harsh. Depending on the weather, I find you usually have the best light 30 minutes before sunrise and up to 2 hours after. Okay, we're just walking along the riverbank now, trying to find a new location for a shot. Sun's coming up over there, and we're just going to see if we can find a good angle where we can shoot back into the light and get the Eiffel Tower in our shot as well. I was thinking about this barge and the reflection in the water, but it's not actually looking that great. but a quick look down at the riverbank offers a much better perspective. We've moved down to the riverbank and just going to see what we can get. I found a nice little spot here looking between these two barges across the river with a little bit of reflected light off the water, and we've got some coloured clouds with the sunrise coming up behind the Eiffel Tower there. So I've just gone this time with a wide angle, not the super wide angle lens. I've got a graduated filter on the top half of the shot to darken down the sky and a polarizer to saturate the colours a little bit, and just going to experiment with a few shots with the wide angle, see what results I can get, and then I might actually switch over to the telephoto lens and concentrate on some detail shots of the metalwork on the tower and the sun shining through that, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'm going to just try this setup first. Down here is quite dark in the foreground in the front of these barges, especially this one. This barge here is in black paint, so it's a lot darker. So by having the graduated filter on, I'm bringing the level of the sky down more to match my foreground area. And we can see the sun just breaking through the metalwork of the Eiffel Tower there. And once it's lifted up above that bank of cloud, this could make for quite a dramatic shot. And that's the great thing when you're wandering around in the city on the streets, just looking around on your feet, moving about on the city, trying to find good shots. Now, when you're moving around on the city, what you really need to do is make sure that you've got a mobile equipment set up. And that's exactly what I've got here. What I'm working with is a lightweight Manfrotto Neotech tripod, which has got the quick collapsible legs. These are fantastic, these legs. You've got a single push button here, and then the legs just fold up like so, nice and easy, nice and quick. And then I've got a small Pelican case with my basic equipment that I need, and this case locks up like so, and it's got wheels on it and an extendable arm, and this makes it fantastic for moving around the city. Not so great on these cobbled bits here, but fantastic when you're on the normal pavements and normal streets. And my basic kit that I take out with me for sort of city shooting is the main camera, the super wide angle lens, and then I've got an 85mm lens for portraiture. I've got a fisheye lens for some extreme wide angle, my 70-200 lens, which is a fantastic, good all-round sort of telephoto, short telephoto lens, flash gun, filter set, and a few accessories, and that's pretty much all I need. One of the things I also take out with me is a compass, and that compass is useful just for checking directions, and it's a nice compact case, keeps everything locked together, nicely secure and protected, plus the bonus with the wheels means it's easy to move around the city. I'm going to move position over there now. I've got a couple of really nice shots here. There's another spot just further up there that I've just looked at, just checked out. Seems like it might work. So I'm going to go up to the front end of that other barge and see if I can find something a little bit different. I've just spotted another great shot looking back the other way. We've got this yellow-green barge in the foreground, and we've got the trams, the metro trains running over the bridge, catching the sunlight. So I'm just going to stick the graduated filter. I've switched to a standard lens to concentrate in on that view, and I'm just going to use a slow shutter speed of maybe about a 10th or a 15th of a second, just to get a little bit of motion blur on the train as it goes over the track there, and those buildings are lit up. So it's a little bit more of an arty city shot, a little bit different, so I'm going to see what I can come up with. If you're not familiar with using your camera in full manual to control the shutter speeds and the aperture, then I recommend you view our Introduction to Photography program, which is our foundation level for learning to use your camera in full manual mode. 13th of a second is just giving us enough motion blur. Got some nice reflections in the water. It's good. Cool. Excellent. Right, time for coffee, I think, and breakfast.